Said the baby of my Ghana Sika Sema Kwakojina says, and Nipa Pinwan nature say, yes, all for Wesika Sanon and Tutu Yasono, some penetum penenoir, one for the Juma and two honum.
Papa Mio. What's your my Ghana? How are your name? No, what is Suboni people about Dano? I was on Fredemba Quackrapum Preman Tamonia Quaco and Pipia Manjokona Boa, one more year, Eddie Aquacoto by Yim Penfoa, a better Chamanjokuna and Refrichna, Equisine Quesiada. PURC. Why I saw better to Suning Canium now the Assembiaba. I was here for when you have for Piniaki can see any Sakasia baby will be an Yaba, not your day about some more. A higher Sompa 93.1 FM Kumase and a Sompa 98.9 FM so Sunyai. While Jen Channel Susia Feshiaye or Facebook Junction so Sompa 93.1 FM Sompa 93.1 FM Jen Channel Susia and Samia Bobosia what they buy Gusoya Becca and the Mamono, Yabajum a day. Mamo, but they were Cassia so many Nana Yabo Malibia Bogamene. Oh, Hinini, I'm a crunchy does was of Mammy, Premeni Cassia Bonoini. What I'm training our tear jamu, Ewam Rashabe, your famous will be from Swabia, yet never coaching an animal. Your friend is a privileges committee on Munyan for Joseph or Seusu, and what on Cradia Chiram Rashabe, your fear, Chirachuroni cracky. Say I want Quaba to a commission woman ye, Domiqua Benya, about one Pesua Quanyano. Adam Pine. Nina ni se mami sala Joasafo. Ya ye bone mnanisa Judase. Wa drum. Ya ye baby piadan so ye uno. Embele kunini tie ye eduokono ensun. Esun wojina ye 1992 constitution. After 97. Esuna wojina sa bri piada mrachebe jwafo be kwa setena. Maku dunum. Na wo biama chiremu papa bi anya adwuma no. Eye se na kwanya no ye mane dampan enu ti wa chirechirem ya wo se wanyi krata bi enfri sipika ho bia me yare bia sem bia to me enu ti na memma wanye nchiremu papa bi ama ya frani mpanifo animu awama edi adanse pefe sa kwanya no adampai onumanyamfo Canada Japan eni era Henry Cote no amusu ginam na domdodo ne eto aba epa chaw edi masafo na wom de anyi etiri de didim owura Joseph Oseusu na mane pono sei ena nete.
The explanation she had for being absent for 15 sittings without a permission from the Speaker is reasonable. Let me quote the Constitution so we are all clear. Article 97(1) says a member of Parliament shall vacate his seat in Parliament, A, upon dissolution of Parliament, or B, if he is elected as Speaker of Parliament, or C, which applies to this case, he is absent without the permission in writing of the Speaker, and he is unable to offer a reasonable explanation to the Parliamentary Committee on Privileges from 15 sittings of a meeting of Parliament during any period that Parliament has been summoned to meet and continues to meet. So, three things must happen for a member to automatically vacate his or her seat. One, if the member is absent for 15 sittings without the permission of Mr. Speaker and right the Privileges Committee. If these three things happen, then it's automatic. It is not for Parliament to do anything. It is not for the Speaker to do anything. It's not for the committee to do anything. So in the case of Honorable Member for Don Kwabenya, Honorable Adwasaf, the Speaker has already determined, looking at the record and referring to the committee, that you have been absent for 15 sittings. You did not obtain permission in writing from me to be absent. So go to the Privileges Committee. If you have any reasonable explanation why you should not vacate your seat, tell them. Now, we had 4 sittings. The first 3 was to enable her tell us what her explanation was. We've offered her every opportunity that there was. We have advertised, we've sent letters to her registered address in Parliament, we posted some on her known social media handles, we've advertised in the national newspapers on social media. She did not appear before the committee. So the responsibility is on her to take advantage of the opportunity and explain why she was absent for 15 sittings without permission. She did not take the advantage of the opportunity given her. So her vacation of Parliament is a matter of course, automatic. The committee doesn't have to say that leaves, no.
All right, Joseph Oseusu.
So for Guswa the more my Ghana Mras Wage Fiem on Money Privileges Committee, yes, they say, Ora Joe say Usuyeti Treni Danwa, or more HS or Mudio Messidraye, send any Chrea, Mraswe Gaden Koba, Bato Commissar and Penny Forman, so Monyan to Tie, now Domico Benyam Raswage Nino, Yankotono Swaba, Equim Raswage from Formadis and as a by lesson, and 170 Now, some semi honorable Joe say Usuekain, and a NDC for one more Privileges Committee, this would be about on THSA, one moment. Kai so mo meet no mo kokoye no wo mo si giraye se enani kire yo mo chokata e de akwakoma abato komisar mpanimfo so mo nyantotie ne akwa by election no domiko benya abato mpesua so mraswe gani o mraswe je fie ma desia wo mo Cape Coast South abato mpesua so a emre bi atwam no ye so ofo be de kira o wesi kasa no ntotie so ye wura akwako reketegan na odensem twefo di nkoma o che se o mo kra de o mo wadwiri wonum se ye wura jo se usu ene na mo ekeka sai wo mo chokata de akwako da abato komisar mpanimfo so mo ba be ntotie no makwa by election o domiko benya abato mpesua so wasi bibia se nsi andi simraswe jafo no de wo mo anyi ntum se bibisa wo mo nkoye o domiko benya abato mpesua so
ye ti se omumienso nyina apomidin hunsam so part of the reason why yeah in camera instead of on camera because he says a medical issue there for the health in your baba and we didn't want to put that. It will not be fair. Say will be because we're a member of parliament. So I said in the health report to our team will be who say no. And again, we thought for people to feel free to talk to us now and know that they are not talking to the nation. They will be honest with us in telling us what was wrong with that. Don't forget that we are politicians, and everything you say or do not say can be used against you in future campaigns. So you have to be very careful on the information you give. That's not to say you lie, but people can take your story and exaggerate it. From a stomach ache, it can become an ulcer.
I was for Yamraswe Genio Wamraswe Fima Deso more Cape Coast South about to Pesos here Rakoko Reketega and Yeten and Kano. Privileges Committee Ayaka once me wouldn't intima was because when they can say we are ranking member or committee so and watch say one kai say Mraswe Jafono Cotana Sieno or Musi Jina Yebi say a quack by election or Domeko Benya about to Pesos so etu addressafo Eddie Freeho.
Nanyo mwa dom kitwenom se adwasa fui wache not why ye tuane tidie pepe
dien
there be Ghana no any adani
ya politics ya to aba ma obi so onkosi na desia
musengam
se abia fini o kekakọ afio and a running see parliament afọ no ane party agia tum say yenkata so bio
moseda so moseda bi yankasa what was why ye tuane kanso am
abrochire ne wo ye tuane kabusu bia wo
Mampeni abedi eche Dr. Laji Mamadou Paumia ene Enkran Business School ye wure nso agina simpie ni apaso akasa chire mu wa mai said ye wie mu samu akoni adu ne kwafa bai na wase sobo ne de ene ye be kwaso ada e de bia bo coronavirus Russia Ukraine wo e wom se Ukraine fo abekasa sam ye fe yen won mu tutuka enso ne mpenifo se wom de wom betu ka tu bio na papa ba wo mi chire mu no se we coronavirus ho ka ye boy ne nko anu a eno nko antumi mi ye nko wie baby a ye duro no nanso man Ghana akatia dodo a ye di tuaka eno so ka ho na de ma ne ye hu kora bank binu mu a na mu ne ma nya aban ne be prepre mu no eno ne kofa ba ye na no so mpo de aban dada no won ne ye sanfum so ne to ho a won so ba be pie so ene papa ba omi adanda ne ti akasa wo wie ye no obu ye be se wo kofa carpenter ni so me boda so na wo ba ensuo ntoi ehumuntui na da ne dwirigu mu a wo de be carpenter no ana kofa carpenter o me boda so prekope tornado framaja mpenturudu enu so adwira gum wo de bebo carpenter no na se be no no ane be ya no.
In the 2022 budget based on tax exemptions, property rates and the e-levy did not materialize. Debt sustainability analysis continued to place Ghana at a high risk of debt distress. There was a credit ratings downgrade by the international credit ratings agencies. In fact, before COVID-19, Ghana was borrowing some $3 billion annually from the international capital market. Following COVID-19, The international capital markets have been largely inaccessible by emerging market countries like Ghana. Furthermore, as a result of increases in interest rates in the developed economies and increased perceived risk of emerging market economies, investors have pulled $50 billion from emerging market bond funds just in this year, in 2022. 50 billion have been pulled. Non-resident holders of bonds in Ghana were not also rolling over maturities. In a decline in foreign exchange reserves also resulted. With the challenges in accessing the international capital market, balance of payment support was needed to bridge this financing gap, stabilize the economy, and create the space to implement structural reforms and restore debt sustainability. And this is really the reason why Ghana had to go to the IMF. I should again note that Ghana has been hit with a quadruple whammy. The energy sector excess capacity payments, banking sector cleanup, COVID-19, and the Russia-Ukraine war. We have been hit by this quadruple whammy. And I say again that if you take out the fiscal impact of this quadruple whammy, Ghana will not be going to the IMF for support because our fiscal and debt and balance of payments outlook would be sustainable. Of the four factors, COVID-19 and the Russia-Ukraine war were external, and the other two, the banking sector cleanup and the excess capacity payments, were the result of policies of the previous government. Today, all over the world, fuel prices are rising in virtually every country. Food prices are rising. Inflation is high. It's at a high for many years. Currencies are falling in value. Fiscal deficits are rising. Debt levels are increasing. This is happening globally. And this tells us that what we are dealing with is a global phenomenon. Let me give you an analogy to make my point. If you ask a carpenter to roof your house, and he roofs this house, and suddenly the roof collapses without any rainfall or wind, suddenly you have a collapsing of the roof. Will you not blame the carpenter who did the roofing? Will you not blame the carpenter? But if the carpenter roofs your house and the roof collapses because there's a tornado and a storm which has blown away roofs and windows and walls of many houses, will you blame the carpenter? Will you blame the carpenter? In one situation, you will definitely blame the carpenter. In another situation, you will blame the tornado. We are interested in the way forward. Whatever is the cause, we are dealing with an economic crisis. Unfortunately, judging from where we are today, there is no end in sight for the Russia-Ukraine war. While we hope for a quick end to the war, we must understand that things could get worse before they get better. We have to steel ourselves for that because we just don't know when this war is going to end. The major lesson of the last 2 years is that we have to be more self-reliant.
Hey, Seberio, Nyamine Nim, Dr. Laji, Mama Dupaumia, Srem Seja Tower, Tessabong Maswo, Nenedi and Wakasa, and ye, Kasapa.
Yo. Twaso na eguso ademu sikasam no ntutu on IMF asisi de ye bo mu punu so mu na megien na yisi atamewu atamehye ye pae hu a se ye pie ho ne ade na eno na opani bia afi empino ene eye edunkrunum okobro isane ne mpotemu ampenimfo bo na baso sekuafo hene wo ye ne se odi mpenimfo ho yawo se na no wokote se mampeni na nadoda nkwakufu ado ahye ne so afo we sikasam no ntutu so onkobo IMF fo punum se ba bi o my God ye gina sese no so mambo so emu ayewu wo se ya wodwene wo sa wantiase besine sa Ghana nyakopo anyi abro bibibia wo se dasani o ma binya e ma na brabo CPC ta ekoye ma no twede amponyankrompo de biadom my Ghana eba gold sika akwa yewo bi eba ne diamond no mo yewo bi eba no bauxite ya na no nyina hini de ene ma ye hu se ta ho ya besini yemfa yensanka ya ye kope China for no ye de plus ne mind so etutu omudi ni so metuma ya eno so wo man so akwa bibibi eta ho ya yesi ye nam la sulala se kwasi broni na emehwe yi wo yire Nyankopon de bi adom yen chese nyame asira ya ma yen tuntum nyina wa ma ye bi esoso ye hu ye hu ano opani aye set ejefosu ne ho asem na meken 2019 National Best Farmer ewo Bunu East no kire se wono kra gina hoseyi no ene eba ni ntosu num ene mango a wado a abusuafom de momra Facebook na mehwe mango papa pe ya do asase ne tetrete ene ne kakraka nya asem ketwa na so pra na pro mango a wado pa pra na pro obi amfi sa asase wei Nyankopon di nipa babedua so na nipa ne di hia odi kom agise kwesi kokko na behwe no yenkoti o facet jeye ne nsem o de to yenua ye alasan yo sendua nim
na me se first na government di ba se nkura school feeding nkura no eni kosuanti na ma adwuma no mo ayede ese ne ma adwuma no mu ne ma nyina abo ayede kosua no so to ayetwitwi di esra ba ye senka school feeding na omo ma nkura no di kosua no omo nsa emfamra na potra adwuma no so atima ye nkoso ama enchi youth no so ekwado so omo ba beto so ma adwuma no aye bebre we aye kan yina wo kra ne mama school for nkuro ya na wo tigana ya na wo tokosu amoma mfi se dollar na yo sora na ye chenzi ne bebre no ebeba for mama government no so ho haro Ghana ye kuafo emman se government no na ni ji ku adwuma ne mana we aye kan nyame a nhihye na amango ya so se anti government nyame ya aduma ye nsase ne kama edi aban so nhwe se no ba no ba oyibeti manya babidia wo hwe kwan na yakuafo ya fa so aye adwuma mana ba ya ne to aye din a esra ban se we aye kan youth say youth ko family nyina omoye na basia na youth hu sa omo bambebu ti esra ban se Bunu East amango fo no wo ha bebre aban kan ho na omehwe na omeso ya se wonye factory bi busi amango no busi a ebenya babi atiako etiko na factory ne yam na odigu nkonkom ne nema yeso betuma export ama dollar na da bia yeso na yitris no na yenso dollar ne bia ba ekrum timisra ban so onhwe akuafo na ye no ba ebase ya babi a ebetime de akọ ama akuadwuma no so ya akọ ama nchima no so etima beto
yo ntiani offer set ofosu ajeni etene nka ne 2019 wana mperinfo born abaso se National Best Farmer no watch say si de ani kire kua yomu a ne ye kua ni ya enye ne se na yigina kwasi bru ne hwentente aboboa no a ye da no so no na emagye no
Public Utility Regulatory Commission eya bedwako a wona tunsuo ne nkane abom nananom se abeku ye chie nche akora na ba beto dwa wo kirem se busumi ewom yi wagefo busumi ne de to so dunum pam se ewom ene ewom de to ne bi beka ho ensuo ne nkane ato ye san be pagem sa bra Ghana fo ye pa ye ho a ye pe ye ho esan de ba beka ho e ma sutro mienu abeda ne ha hane na de achi ye ene wom de nkrata pie monte su kirem se wamani ani ntini akuwa chocho ro ni pebiankoma wanu ya nudrubu mu wama ete prono atena sie so adwen na sede ani amate no wama kaso wamu tutum sesie yi a emwa to obetu e de akoshe Ora Kofi Obute ya wono eye corporate affairs director Adema Public Utility Regulatory Commission yewura wa humane so hello doctor okay
our Ministry of Finance. Just to make sure say the consumer will not be shortchanged. Because POS both the consumer and the utility company itself. Consumers at a disadvantage. We have to do everything possible to make sure say everybody in the chain is satisfied. To say we are taking time to do all of these things. Now, I say it me to say we have to make sure say decision come out with is backed with facts, is backed with figures, is backed with evidence. I say yes and yes, take decision is not backed with facts and figures now. I bet me a hard drink. Until I say to your Ministry of Finance. finance no so eko hu se empara figures na ewo eyinu no omo sika na amomo na ejuma na also omo fire no omo jaye na ye san nyame ni na chese at that point in time no decision commission betimi afa decision na the decision abetwika to say entimi kasa entumu na eba enti ye kasa we are doing a review of the tariffs. And at tariffs in the betting so betting Jinabiawo and I said a form. And send America some time ago no the proposals and about 2 years. After I share proposals in Namu, share proposals in Namu, yeah, the woman no any evidence na yo in Namu, you're doing about Tuja, Amagana phone in the entire tariffs no, it was a call baby Edda.
Dr. Kofi Opute, Nenkomo Bono. Ye chaka kramamu.
Amusiasafe no abeka inside ye kamo se aye Sompa 93.1 FM Sompa 93.1 FM enwumre no nsia kase na nsem bia wo bia no yegiso ede emamu no se otieka osunyene abonten so a aye Sompa 98.9 FM Sompa 98.9 FM adwenche no nsusu ye se fashia yen o Facebook junction so Sompa 93.1 FM Sompa 93.1 FM adwenche no nsusu ye wo de ba yegiso aye be kase na mamu no a ye begidwam ayi ne wanwan Eddie Amamo. Yeah, Chelsea Guswa or May, Yesika Semen and Tutia, one baby of my gun, Yaba bedroom. Na Kane Penny Quanchefwa, no ye chief of staff for a woman penny that John Jukum dear work for a brother Papa Santiago in a dish concron, Samansa boy, na bresso. Yera Kojom Pianim no way and say, baby a gun, Yaba bedroom, say no, Isika Sama tope, gun a young one no, you who see a cookie and cacano, a cobatana, see a quaco bajua, Nano I am a better higher, or more carrymo peditriano. When you feel say baby age nano said you be a finance minister what the any papa moi or said nani chine ya you rakenu friata no aba bonting beka chire man penin na do danko akufo say what na say wasum no wa yebi bema be yebi wa nyini nyina wonya nso no obi susumesum na onfa ne aka no entwa so since obetena wono mu a amadie agi agu ne tiri so papa kodwompi anim ye ja mama ni twa say amanfo keka na ekenu friata nko ebi chese sikasem no ntutie no chese sikasem no aye no bia epo bi dia kwa kwese no ma dodo no ebo kenu friata tiri so ena je ne se ye ne nkodi nkomune mu san say baby akika koi kenu friata se ne amanfo de pressure egu ni chemi wono chief of staff wadi bi pen mampeni officer wonya de no so de wonya mampeni ne wo so ka check kenu friata se wonko wono a ena ni pem also huni se baby ene maka kono ye boni tiri so dodo wonya adwuma ne nto na ni power from esum no omo amanyuku no.
Actually, it's a prerogative of the president whether a person is efficient or not. But even if you sit down, if you are not in there, you'll be able to know whether a minister is performing well or not. All of us sitting in out, not out of government. I believe if you ask a Ghanaian, they'll be able to tell you this minister A or Minister B must go because we don't see effectiveness of such a minister. So it concerns me, and I believe it is something which must be done. But it's a prerogative of the president. We believe that all these people are working well, fine. But a listening president also will be trying to find out even what the people think. You see, the national security also helps the president because they listen to people's concerns, and these concerns are conveyed to the president. So it's left to the president to make his mind. Honestly, if I were the finance minister, this is a question of President Trump, from my utterances, and then what is happening, I will just go, Mr. President, thank you so much. I think it's best for me to sit back for another person to take over. That would be my personal decision. That would be my decision. But I'm not going to tell any president to drop a finance minister or any minister. That should be left to the president. He knows what is happening.
I was a phone to way a Rako Jumpian name, maybe a chemu, not a chief of staff or Mampeni that Jonah Jukum de Wuku for Abreso and watches a baby agency no, Kenu Friata, one year Bema, one Fedjuman and tour, Bema Beyebi, one meaning in a deep bonnet Dawson. Na on the power from Misum Emwa Amanyukuneke anymore. See the Dr. Richard Amako Babedia Semi Honkomo na Yahweh Bebia Eye and a ye day and 7 Bekwakugu. Na Igusu Toto Obano, see Dr. Richard Amako Bawa Homanaso, Onyama Yede, and Twakasiana Sumamo.
Yet was one Neswame, and Mepuna what Yagumantis was in Pempim, as so Kako Bemucha, saying as some Ketuakra, Ningan say was one my quine, a yet Techima Kumasi Quantum Point as so, one must say Draven Ibia Uchita see, Wakako Swavu Pot work in Cray, Wakako in Quanti, and Mebrin say, on Munafo Seche and Sabusu, where do one my brapa, Tiane Waye Yetre, Mania no Shirabed Yawa, Naka comment. Fio will be to me what my copra yet will be to me a dormitory domonim. Now way, na cania quatiamra sebejani or Munyanfo, Kinston a comicisi, a baby tremo and mebrin, a quatwasha papa swap of Bruno Cra. Hey, he's still region the idea and why. Now many youth president, Eba Church and Como. Hello,
hello,
Katachi Majue. Now what to say?
Akakaka yanko kwanda roma yekwekram
yati se na mo ye kire bi na e de na kofa sa ye kire ne bai
enye medase menua enye ye kire sa e press conference na ye no last week enye ye kire ne ye na press conference na ye no na ni nyina gina asanteman puntuo asanteman ya to aba Nanso empunto abo esa de Johnson abo akoko enti emebunu a e wasantime mu no ye tina se hunu se edu abapto bia so a ye kwasala ye kwoto aba de ma aban nanso empunto bia e ma santime mu enti hunu se asisie pa na e koso e wasantime mu eno nti na ma ye tina so ye sa ntwafo enhia mu no se de be ya yade batu aban a otiso sie nim se
Isaac Afre
me pa cha omitie
kasa yetie o
sa abana ye kosa line anase kodi ayisu kokoto no enye se ni bibia ye nemom ye to abasa ya sere be ya mpuntuo ebeba sebe ya sisire mo nanso so ye to aba ye hunu hwe o hwe asisi ya MPP aba ya sisuo ya free 2017 a omo betina akonya so no obekumase a interchange omo promise yen say suame ombe maye baako suame runabout Awunaga junction ombe maye baako Santasi runabout ombe maye baako free 2017 ebesi na minia asompo yemfa mbofom oba magazine ene suame patamo bebia ye press conference na yakwan ya nam so a magazine yenim se eye one of the business centers I wo asantememu ase yakwan a manfo nam so e de baba be ye ebedidwa ene ye baba bedidwa no minia ekwan na aside na so de na esitie na nka ye pene saa aban abetutu so on betutu so a asesa eswa yin na adeko ese mfuturo ena eboye wo magazine ho enti ye nya ba bi emfa manfo ntimi makwa no ya afa esa de yare nso ye den eba enti ye hwedi ya ne hunu se sebi esisie pa na ye den ekoso enti ema ye transfer na tedi a ye be o se epusu ye ho ne ka kira aban se aban cheche empuntujuma obabi a santeman so yenso ye hia bi
press conference na mo ye na fake mo block kwan na mo shika tie no eno so na se ne sei
epa cho enti sa da bia da ye press conference no obi a block kwan obi a shita bia
net ye insu ye
hello
Afre
yes boss
na net ye insu ye
but also say
yes ye nansu mo ye bi ma MPP kra be twam koto hye ne so say port obi aku taxi driver bi wo breman eno so ade na mo yes a
eno emu bia ne ho eno kwa ayi na ya ne wo so unim magazine yi a ba bia ye fro takwa macro o kwa takwa macro a wotra crossing ho kakra bia eho ene ya no within 30 minutes bibia wie obi ne ho a oblock kwan obi ne ho a wo share tie it's a BBC or before fraud there.
Sompa 93.1.
Yes, sir. Former MP Akwatia Honorable Kingston Akomin Kisi. Obetwa mo my boys ni bi kran ko mo de wo say keka. Hello, Afre.
Wala ni breaking team so na why.
What menka?
Metonka.
Yes, former MP Akwatia Honorable Kingston Akumi Kisi betwa mu ma emrante ni bi kura nka omo de omo se keka no won so una ya president memepuru no wonte ho asem
me pa cho ye hunu MP bia se oba ho press conference ye no ukuada etwa mu ukuada be na awotwe eni se before fresh dia ene na ye press conference na
ene mo nye press conference bia
ene de ye press conference bia
mo nye demonstration bia
Dabi.
Na ka na mo block ye nso e magazine for block ye ne we
and that's demonstration bi asi ho dia me nim ho hwe because baby am work crisis here me
brand ye na woni mu dia e beja o na ya hwehwe mu yi we ye nua be ma Isaac Afre ya o ye youth president Swami ene ye ne kodi enkomo yi
I was after a good show, Sompa 93.1 FM, ye numre nun sia kasie na nsan bia wo bia no eguso ye de emma ye nto aso eguso ade mo sentiment ma se ne ne ekoso na ya de mo kwa adesia market adwedefo gu wonom no mo chese nyamienim ene bonsamati kwa ne yi kankan de ebi ko mo hwenim kankan ebi ko mo hwenim pa ye nya asem ketwa wonom chese mo gatesia ewa adesia market wo etira de koketi a onemu osisi efinkwa ene nsuo no soso temu nsuo ne tatamu sa no ene eja be ne de mosquito si ntontumi omsoso mafo burunya ho we krakase a wo no mu gum entomu besi wo no ma no pane sa no so wo mu digya kosi anwumre no a wo medu fie na kyese madedia ene omu di drufie ye nua ba fie age wa akode ne tisi mu a wo mo edisa wo makosemi wo matete no matepui eto nanim
nso ne to a obi won ma owu kwan otimi tom na me say nso to ni pam ye ne tom and apart from that class we pine to e bon nso ye ni ba bit nti wa na etie obi kwa to aduane nti wo mu ya we be me so ba be kata fe be ba ba ti e bon pa center station for the kata ke me fo ndo mu ba yi kwa no mo ja nti e ba ho sa that ne die e mu bon wan e na man fo to ne magum obi mfa ho se o chamanu nso na odi atum odi dia na odi atum da bia ye ba ne tse beti gato se mo ba ye ma ye na mo kata so na ye de we mo ye gata ne die wa wo ti ande on fa de ntimo wo be prefia aba no no bia ba be say so nye pra
no ntonto mo ha na agata no so ha ye nti kenya nka mo ye ma yanka ye ana say no hawa ye wo ha no ye wo so anytime bia mo hye ma ye se na ba ye komedi so na ba ye de
senso to see a etero kana mafo titwim ye na re gina na ma direction mo me yi odo be tisi o ma be ba ke me for no mo ma me
I was a phone to where Jennifer Wokumasi Adesia market no more chess or more gatters in the Mosisi and Macancan dear Womuti home, almost ramping for send your mobile a better ticket in number you musicano. Sa no Sakwana no Monfaso, no metit or Mogates in them, and may more infama unum. I was a for your twasso not ye queti, Nayane Dr. Richard Amwakoba, Aquacude and Como. Papa Mrabi a chemum, non a penequan chefwa, or coming crewmanship upon more, or more history and political science department in Odano. Ene betima kase wodin tintimai ewo NPP amanyuku mfise mebi atwemu okope national chairman ewo NPP amanyuku no amanfo keka kenofuri atanko enyen deni doc majoy
betimoso
ya yiri sempom ye
no ye
ya de radio ase doc kenofuri ata mampani na enyina di anaso odwa na resign
o eni so okosese ya kode osoko emo nyesese ya Because only crowd them businesses. You say I'm a woman here, papers need data and assembly. One of our colleagues, one in India. Only crowd them from BTS to one I was saying, or they or some because he said, the basic and kind of beautiful from God there was all or the crowd.
Doc, a business so chess and deputies or into a deputies in the betima boni power from now or bano. I'm on my end to cheer papa dia my.
And yet the same. As they say, you're quite if you have a photo and Granta Ghana did my one. Almost say a new only future normal sample beam. One of Koreans are them. So, or no one acquired the email for beginning. Now, why be on the was said, oh, yes, I know. No one was your name. Oh, yeah, I am a free now, free one. Now, for a handy over mode. Sunday, we didn't say,
be asem nyoma be basa
nipa pi so fi so ono na nkutade anim ya se so ode ye kɔ IMF no no adi anim ene broni na akɔ akɔkasa asem papa be ne ye beti afiri hɔ no mu nie
no no nko na di ani say no nko vice president ka ho Bank of Ghana omo nyina ka ho na the thing say IMF ni nyeta omo discount man ni akoye de efe yes ah baby o say IMF no hu say e de na mo ye ya adum be gina dibi amu de na mo ye ana beti ma cheche mu ye ono na beti ma cheche e mo cheche mu ye afa ma fita say na mo ye nti na ye say person mu ye say say na ye no. Indeed, there's no better person to lead than one to say there. No, no. Oh, yeah. Oh, beautiful fraba. Because you know, and that's all no never yet the open. IMF never say, Sana Moya and I need there. I was some the same. Name on cut details in what I say. Omaka say, Crata no the problems, data no the problems. A car move and problems in Siano. Wana ono awaba fufuro ono be use as well. Also be the minimum za me ba ndɛ there na beka. Emo ono won there also tumi cheche.
Dog na udo waso toto form a IMF nkomo a wo mo ne aban ye edie oha bibi papa bi be free Nazareth aba ye benya sika bi e mo dro ye betimi dia boa ye economy ne ye sikasem.
Ebebo akaka na M1 said the sipenon kra the things are the shows say Ghana you become 40 billion cedis 40 billion dollars 40 how they cap 40 billion na Ghana you say get 3 billion what if 3 billion also san ababa be the 8 kra be 24 billion now they cap 40 billion no people obosia 24 billion anyway and yeah enough kra as a way the curriculum kakra so I can assure you ye enche bi ebesapo te ya nyani ye yan kasa na wo se ni bri yes IMF na ka kire ye de abedru ni ye de na abedru ha ye nyoma basa I don't so do ye wies kind of so and so IMF can want some the can we no say on accountability no does just we are the wies can so omo na be ka kire say finance minister Bekachen say, World Bank am I $100 million say I'm from here committee. And I boy say Mama World Bank. Have a World Bank country represented by Australia, scanning 100 million, 530 million. What? They can wait. Only the one has asked me why. Go for before. I know as about the people. I mean, have why and they don't be young. So, I don't think I want to be in this year. Madam Francosi baby and Tana on Westfield.
Observe yene Dr. Richard Amwakoba na edin kome doc yem free IMF no so kakra na yemra wa party nyankopon ya domo a efri china memenda ene kwasiada omo kwoto aba yimpanimfo a ebeda manjoku na no doc why now fi say odi national chairman odi general secretary odi organizer ebebo party no moko 2024 ene mu break the 8 in semi
omo running na obi abit my yade na individuals bi omo ati omo kakra na se bi omo yade chen others obi to 17 say akọ 5 times na okoyi so enti nipa nim ne pa because of this into ono obenya sympathy vote others nya obi so abre yentoman but no krenim ye de koto aba no last time go no koto aba ni na ye sika na edi no ni nya nim je o na nya se abe sika enti wa wo sika no obeyade wa wo sika onya very simple. And because of that, who can say, "Me want to be winning?" I mean, think, well, we want to more do we want to be winning. Don't be penalty.
It is said the acquire sika enye o onse mo obeka na eto amanfo atiruma mo mato amawo.
As I am passing the TV, 4 years ago, he got a Cobodia. Me and I do many who here campaign me Casatron who group beyond the Western region. Oh, me Casam a doctor Thomas. Yet I see any milliards, name of years, Cafes Cabra. I don't know 20. There's no more confess Cabra. And Parliamentary, that's what happened. A man for a run, I could spend this cap answer, could do very one. Okay? Candidate back or Chelsea can 1,000, can delegate be 1,000. Hey, I have some good old.
Hey, the only account to be in the post.
Yeah, turn out as saying. On no 1,000, Anna, another candidate, on so by some about one first come by, no one will. On the call from first come by, on the 1,005. And then after the grade win here.
And now, Doctor Maunya 18 or oh, yes,
I'm to my Obiama. Because our buses that are going your bad boy, I just can't want to my so do
you. Doc, yeah, that's it. Now, Kupa Yaduma, a free china, Ecosin, a member da, and then the Quesiada, a Gedu baby, a be here with him, dear, Bessa Frubia, you ready? Yeah, that's a pano adaja when you're dear my. You, Miss Madamas. You. I was for Dr. Richard Amuako Bani and in Aquacodinco, and maybe a chamum, now history and political science department here, all coming comments your opponent, a penny quanchefa, Wadano, and MPP Aman, you couldn't do the moon to my pa, the pen national chairman. When you're 18,
Chama 18,
hey, Chama 18, hey, and what did you say? And you was them your party, eh, for Scarabrady, and Gaduta Nama, yes, sing.
Aye, Dankamberi,
Dankambari.
Yeah, to us, we was here for. Na National Pensioners Association for and on my topic ups Makuma could do Ediama one this year what regions and as a mantam out room Woboja on my try Cassia Osu and crying. Now jam training out Jinamu Mekwe or said I'm at Tefe and one is and Jaffa to Chenkomo who here say what they canoma or say one madishan would one won't clunk it to him. Say pen will be to me as from Brano. Now when I'm so swatched Doma bedroom quantity and what is our cast name I would nom and when he was thre a draft where Jacano a petty rear and a carcano ya shadamwa woman now.
Formed by retired workers, not for government workers alone, but all types of work that you've ever done. It's an association formed by this association to seek the welfare of retired workers. That's a very good question. You know, most of us come from the interior part of the country. As such, when our regional executives want to visit the villages and the districts, they have to use vehicles. That's the right number is to buy these vehicles. So that when they go to canvas members for assistance, they will find it easy. For me, I was a worker before. I know we have some sort of drive.
Wawura ametefe na dwemtrafo ya wonom enso de kaima ye na wo GPA enso ne so mpa twetwe nkomo kire wo mani so pa regional members wo mu kire mse we ya de beboa ama mo dwumadi no atimi akonanim.
Actually, it's a very great relief to the regions in our membership drive activities. You realize that we have our members in the districts, scattered in the districts, at locals, and sometimes we are not able to get in touch with them because of transportation difficulties. So it's a very laudable idea if the regions are supported with vehicles like this. In fact, we are so happy. It will help us to do a mass membership drive. So certainly, we are happy at the deduction that's mixed before paying us our allowances at the end of the month. It supports in maintaining the regional offices and even the district offices, as well as the national office. So part of it has accumulated in the pictures of vehicles for our use. It's a great move.
Way a empenifo a waje cars ni bi na ye komezi na me ni nua kwabra region fi atwe nkomo. Hello kwabna majoe yo yanso ye nene ya tese ma ye demo bi di na kofa demo e bai ya tese na ma ye demo e di na kofa demonstration no bai esrewo
About any say. First one, I agree. More final. Original final. Fair road. I took what it's like. No, no big so. There was some in here. Now, I heard say go back here. I'm with that. And yeah, for a cold team at the time, I could be more in fact. When you go so, I said, one best. You know, I always still on my airplane. Maybe I said, no more. I keep post office. Maybe I put quite a quick. We have a target crowd, so I have to. Same for 20 more. Or by it's no card netto. No. Put on up no man. So we have a tournament. Or pay really on. In Tiama, they had Pepper, catch my kid, and pay 4 hours. Yeah, I about now, I say, no, Obi Bagate. The Jacobo man, your moment to wish I made any demonstration. No, and see, Salabia, who may die because of that. And maybe I come back to 3 years ago. Who made a demonstration this hour or put up a magazine. This summer and to finally go to the Babel. Until I got your mom, my wife. Let's look at it. But the man now watching if you turn the rest, but I want to. Oh, my water, these grass on my head. The move to live back at my yes of one. And you the rest, I say, a bar foot in bucket, matter. You should have pumped people to the plan ever. This is the end, Chassia. I will say, ABB. Near the aid of the cargo of quite. Let it back for the Wooster. Say they're hired and get about the answer. It's in the by I may say, by the same person who said, I don't make it to one by area or how people I might be where yet direct. Because my ever. It's a number. Am I ever tired of the social case? As I go pardon, tell them a social case. And to come here and see, I say, I say, because I throw and that coach. Yeah, I go there and I swim. I go on there and I say, so please one about the rest. So you're near, but I said, yeah, even I find a blocking test. I may find my other.
Hello.
So it says insurance
hello. Kwabena. Papa bia obetwa mu a oye MP dada wo akwatia honorable Kingston Akumi Kusi ya esenka mo kwaburo no no so na ase kire sen MP bi obetwa mu anka mo kwaburo no so na ka demonstration no
me pacho when ya say for politics I go go MP no betwam e ya onke omo chire to omo wa to ba to mo ko ebi do akra Begini ejaya chaga children pay. Yes, no, yes, no, ma. I'm going to say, do baby. If you on come over, no more pay empty.
Kwabena. Tie nkomo na ye di no. Mo ye demonstration obi twam. Mo mra se bedwani ni honorable chairman sabonsu. Oho. We onya mo MP. Musimu china no. Say, mo di asemo soma no. Ade amu ye onu se betimi ache mo. Me say, honorable was a chairman Sabonsu na yamu MP. We no na yamu MP. Wo cham, Timothy Asemo Sumani said ye.
Now, me patrol, o cham le ya, nyese ni ye de hello. Hello.
Meet you.
O be cham le ya, nyese ni ye de ya train say. On cham o na kasa e ju cham. Ento on boy, no ti tell bi say fan fo no.
Ade amu ye petition amotwero ye no hwan na mo de koma no
but o say
demonstration na mo ye no petition na amotwero ye no mo de koma hwan
but o de tia ya mo fa ni bia man ye but and you got to the garage 1.4 mo de ya no magazine ya no that ko man yo mo kele ya se be ba na yan chance mas no mo me kwai about so my boss that idea ye be no more say same as you for any abia I say I just say next to
so be demonstration ni hamu no mo chirogu krata so na mo dia kwama pani bi so say bi MP
online me to kasa yo
media mete de no pa hello kwabra du jamfi me say samoya demonstration mo chiro masem gu krata so bi a MP bi a MC na mo dia kwama no na o de adura bam na mo dia mo ye ma fa krata nkwama opia eno an se mo ye dede dia mo ye wonum se betumi a chew
ma me tie dia ko ba se e je ole e be le ye ya what ya na lo se mo say e be la what hello
me ti adu jamfi
o de e be say ya yellow ya yen say ya be yellow adia be ma ya obi apira ala adia be say adia bi ala adia be din so ni ga ya o di say me no ka minimum o to ni e bi akwa ya o ma du so that e bi say ye ka kya ya ama wo so ati o say ama me ka bia o ye fani bi e be ti bi o say na so ame abeye ele ye kwa foni na so mi say o ma wo say kwa na I say so if you are say you are going to say say adidi and say you am problem bi aba but you say MP no bia also di ani mu mo ba kwa no o ti di ani mu no be ya ma me pato
ye no mo di nsia begu so ama mo
o say
mu ye ne di nsia begu futuro ne so ama mo
o say
me se mo ye no ye di nsuo abegu kwan ne so ama mo ana
oh da bi say ne ye nti ye be hu say o ma bo
kwabena nyame hyirawo why we ya kwabena du jamfi so amemezi wo so ma fa krata nkomo obia wo mo wa na o ye so mbe ye keke ho kakra na kwan ne futuro nso kuom enu ti MP pikure twam a wo mutume de nkran so ma no se wo na aka edu achenti se ne ya wo bro no so MP anya me bro no so MP o je nkran fa konkran ti wo ma ye peaceful no eno no
I was for entry na yemfa mo free so amemezi ni wo mo demonstration ni peaceful honsensem na yemfa mo kwa MPP amanjuku na tena mo no tua e mo ne musam de da so don for ya domo a ifrichina ekosi ne kwesi ada so party ni sia won krapompore mantemo Accra Sports Stadium atoba ayi mpanimfo a ebeda amanjuku na no mayim na delegacy a e kwa akoto aba na buru mpim nsia ene akire na eno na committee mpanimfo atie so mo hwenye ntotie be bia delegacy beda be bia mo besue ne mo bedie ka edu mo bekọ asade o maba bedru opani a committee ni so we operations ene grants won sensem yewura samye ukune some performance mjefo di nkomo wa bra ne ye nua ko bafo eko eya Accra Sports Stadium se wodani coach wi se kwakohwe ahombo apart ni mpanimfo eye ohonum no wo kire se ntutu de o ma ye bi pa wo mo aye bi a wo mo ebeto abani nyina soso no edo matiko se yade kwabra 19 wo ho ntu wo mo wura stadium nyina no covid protocol so wo mo de be ye adwuma pa abo amanfo ho ban.
From there they will be ushered through the stadium through their gate. Depending on where you are seated, then you enter through that gate as well for you to be comfortably seated and be given a place where you can comfortably get seated and participate in proceedings. Then again as well, for members of the public, you must be a delegate before you are allowed entry, or an accredited observer, or anybody assigned to play a role, part of the security agencies, or you are a delegate, or you are part of the committees set up to perform a role. Even though we are solid, that and just as in all our conferences from time immemorial, we always run it on genset. Even though we have unshaking belief in the fact that the lights will be on throughout, we always as a party, as part of organizational measures, we always make sure that we are on a genset. Well, currently almost 6,000 delegates. In Covedia, we did say, okay, that's in place as part of the operations and grounds. We also set aside a team looking at the sanitation and looking at the cleaning of the place before, during, and after. In case of any companies as well, who will ensure that they also go around picking some of the empty bottles. The weather situation. So as much as possible, we also try to get some kind of peace to on standby. We're also in touch with the medical team to ensure that people who need medical services at that point are also assisted accordingly. Liaising with the medical teams, doctors and nurses as well. We have staff. We are also liaising with the National Ambulance Service. Again, we also made provision for us to have some canopies to serve as sheds in case that.
I was for your Rasame, Ku Konomiti and Pedin 40 years or Monyan to Tie, about to the delegacy, Nam Kwamuba, or more Cossier, Kodi Diania Diade, Papeone Hill Presidency, and a grounds once and Semuna, which him said the Pampimunsia, and Kupoya Machina, or who be a name.
Edward former one nam tepa. Kumase bechem kwantem ponso semo na atuo ne yedi ku onum akronfa awremfo gina kwan so a womode ya se ne omoto maamo na enam so mo omotie mu fra ban sa ban ne mebibi mu a wo mu pa yese na anu kwasi adanya sam ketwa kumase ebura so bechem kwantem ponso ema enam so kodwa nyina da ene omo ba fia mu kunum munyire mu mfi wo mo pa ne afoko wo no mo papa wo baba ko ene sompa atwetwenkomo
ufi mankanso ekwa woni na say na first na want to sawo and wo beji wo say omo be ye kotal na o ma nyina mu jane wo mankanso kro no mu so ne kofa wo so say enso ta na o ma be bo ho enso ta na o ma be bo ho enso to se na ahomachi kro mo bai ahomachi e kro mo be bo ho be bo kro no no se na anajo no ye be dru be che no ye frɛ say anwro be sa bokɔ anim ye nkofo bi ani o mo kɔdo mo ni na e ka wo mo to go for ma mo ton ne mo wa ade market wo omudo mu koto mu dey dey sila kanya me se ba se tu ye di echi no sa ba se no omudo omu kokoto mu a omunya omu robo omu tutu emeni bi so ba bi kwa de wonyem no tie ba se ni mo jagu ni sa wo ba no ye ti ba se ni na je se ma ya fo eti esrampa ni fo mo ka bi maye police for the crowd akron from so police for no police for be kan kora na a police for akron ka for mo so police for no omu suro wo mo ti so mo students be gu kwa na so maye e ho light ni ekwa ne nye atete ene enam na de bia ya na ma munu wonya the message by force get to akra bi wo nti bi mu won ma na ne ho ase tie ko so no anu odin na mun ka bi maye ya sere mo amada wo ma mun ka bi maye na
we ya maame no ma wo mo nam kumase ene ebura so bechem kwantem pon a wo me akronfa remfo ekodi ahyiemu
wakai baby o mo ken se nam kwano so baby na ho nye kura tutu kura
yes ho no mu operation
yeah ho asem na ye ka ho asemi abza yen kenka mo messages ne kakra mo dia ba enfama mo na fi yen soso Evans ending tutuka obwase aka Pope is winning ose striking teachers no besrada se hwe no mantie de na ndisi amanyuko ne ye no omuntie ni aban ye ka no monsa enkoye adwuma oyibo boaten atwema na ebe wose God bless Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia se wababe chechi nsemu ne nchia enkoma lawyer Justin Kodia from Pom incoming general secretary the man PP amanyuko no na babele kuma central Dr. Baumia eba ose Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia wakasa yipa wakasa ye na we onim se ndisi amanyuko mpeni 40 headquarters ya omuteki no sechina enu be jagum se ya ono soso na de no yenko anim Dominic awua oso ohwe live ewo wale yo na ye se ne wale Adam Smith eno wakasa ye no yo ya tietieche mu nyina nana yere adwoa santoa adu jamfi udin wa na ukosuku ebede na ko register we say for MP to receive salary wabra wonya adwuma na teacher for wo market you afie bi na yes ye na sinji amose montiase Queen de Kela we say Rich Pepe watching you live ahwere ahwere asie kwiapem we say yaw MPP have nothing for Ghanaians you yate Kwame Adomako ene mo amodi bi ba ye nyina na edamase ebre na so ya osebe amekuma hwimfie ene kwai ai yo abusia for yemfansie
yo ye de mosi said the munimo no asante abo Benedict somfo a obo aye Kukwa Veronica Jandro enso tie chire toto abo ba park so tumi ye kɔ Accra Sports Stadium kura ekodi hon komo sa ba konkon mafia obo adwuma pa akosia so mu Elizabeth na na kwabra kase ekosia jiwa akɔde enum nyina drab boaye enfidi dem ane Rocky Akiola school fees kechira ho fedua Godfred na na Rocky e kara ho fedua na shikukua wo mu nyina da be boy yes sorry sweet ye ketechew ono so dia sempeni pa bebro no china odun for the channel na enya sem keto akra ye be hia wo so mpankom so bisuafo ye frame ohinini amakrancha da so of mami premier ni mene
na ya bo amalibia boga.
This is 93.1 FM.
Onitin bi epue opue ya wampue ni kwao odi eniji